G'day, Just Your Average Fishers fans. Justin from the Just Your Average Fishers Facebook and Instagram page, coming to you from the home of fishing, Mitcham Angling Club, with another episode of Tech Tackle, where myself, the Baron, and other special guests talk to you about all things tech tackle, all the tackle and rods and reels and terminal stuff that we use in our fishing, so you can get an idea of what to use, what to buy, and check out at your local tackle store. Hopefully we save you from buying a lot of junk, because we test tackle. And some would say that moi, yours truly, is the eastern suburbs of Melbourne tackle king. Would there be some truth to that? Ben, welcome.
Well, it's not just the king. I think you've got an unsanctioned tackle store in your house.
I buy
Definitely unsanctioned by your wife.
Yeah.
Probably unsanctioned by some competitors in the local area, but they sell most of it to you.
True. Look,
so it's fine.
I'm a gear freak. You know,
you're building a new shed, right? It's not for the boat. It's just for the tackle.
I love trying stuff out. You know, I want to test if manufacturers are saying this is new and this is cool and this is the latest technology. I want to put it to the test. I want to check it. And tonight we're talking about something that on face value seems pretty simple, pretty plain, pretty lethargic topic.
But every type of fishing uses it.
And let me assure you, like oils ain't oils, leader lines are not leader lines. And you know as well as I know, because your knuckles are bearing the scars as much as mine, is we have the most scientific test of testing leader lines in my old shed.
Yeah, which we can't use anymore.
Yes. We've got new bricks, which is that we rub it up and down some rendered bricks to see how long it lasts for.
Yeah, so we scientifically tested how much tension we were doing.
It was scientifically lab manufactured coral, look-alike. Yeah. Anyway,
known as render.
It was render. It was bricks and mortar and render. No, but in all fairness...
Actually, back up.
Yeah.
You just sold that house.
Yeah.
There was a chunk of your garage missing. What'd you do?
I did nothing. I left it. It was all a part of the memories of
good.
the house. No, look, we're talking leader lines. And as I said, leader lines are not just leader lines. And let me assure you, I'm going to rattle off some brands. I have tested and used them all. Like, I do fish a lot. I don't necessarily catch a lot of fish. But I'm starting to catch a lot of fish, getting better at it. But I've used Momoi. I have used Shimano.
There was a point that I came over to your house a while ago, and the scientific rubbing area was above the washing machine.
That's right.
And I came over, and it was just full of leader line. Like the entire top was full.
Yeah.
Did you wash it all that week?
No, not that week. I think that was a week that Kate and the kids were away. But I went ballistic on it. Yeah. And you know, there's machines that test this stuff for strength, and does it really meet the poundage test?
Yeah, but they're all tested by themselves.
Sure. And there used to be this independent guy called Paulus Fishing. I think unfortunately he's passed away. I'm not too sure if his website's still available, but you would send him lengths of line, and he was in quality assurance all his life. And he had this quality assured ISO tested pulling machine, and would test it and really test up to, is the average that they say, the poundage breaking strain, is it there? And he'll tell you whether breaking the knot, midstream, all this sort of stuff.
I remember watching one of the local fishing personalities testing it with 2-litre milk bottles.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I don't know who that was. Like, Steve Morgan was testing braid on this special machine that had sanding, belt sand or stuff on it. But the practical application is, does it tie knots well, and will it hold its knot?
Yeah, does it not slip?
Does it not slip? Does it allow for people of various qualities of knot tying skills to tie, not mark or pinch the line? How abrasion resistant is it to reef or sharks, for example? Yeah. And here's the thing, like I said, I was rattling off some brands. Suffix, Momoi, Ocean's Legacy, which I've recently been looking at, Shimano, Black Magic, Rigmaster, some of the cheaper brands, you know, Toriuku, all these different sorts of brands. Now, a lot of people go, they all come out of the same factory. That is BS.
Yeah.
They don't. And there are some real big technical differences between leader line. Is it fluorocarbon? Is it standard monofilament? Is it copolymer?
Yeah.
So copolymer is different types of polymers that are different from fluorocarbon, and also regular nylon leader, and they actually have different coating processes.
See, back when I was growing up, we used mono, and then we went to braid, and we just chopped off some old Snyder and put it at the end of the braid. That was a long multi-generation line ago.
And Snyder is still around, uber thick for its pound class.
So good.
It is so good, but it's also one of the only leader lines that in a freshwater setting, particularly like Ilden, which is brackish water, that you would use it because it actually comes green and brown.
Yeah.
So absolutely a line still to use. And I think John Jubert still uses Snyder himself.
Yep.
An ex-charterer swears by it, uses it for everything, unless he's doing game fishing.
Oh, look, my pop, God rest his soul, if he was still alive, he'd be still using it today and would not let me try and teach him or show him anything else.
Well, some things never change. Nomad came out a few years ago with a fluorocarbon coated nylon.
Yeah.
And so it was to give you the abrasion resistance of fluorocarbon, but to a certain degree the suppleness of nylon.
Isn't that what this is?
No.
Sorry,
No.
I'm pointing to Jinkai Red because in all of my time, I thought that's what this was.
No. So it is a copolymer line, but not fluorocarbon coated.
Gotcha.
So let's talk about Jinkai, because Jinkai is the brand that I've stuck with. I have immense loyalty to.
It's what we were using right up until washing machine fishing line scenario when we're trying to find something else to use.
Yeah. Just for the sake of trying other stuff. And here's the thing, Jinkai has been a household name for 50 years. And Jinkai John, who's unfortunately passed away, but the business continues, which is great news. This is probably one of the most premium lines that you'll find in independent tackle stores around the world. So it's massive in the US with game aficionado, purists, and
who will recognise it more in a Hank format like this,
absolutely.
Right?
So traditionally it was always sold in Hank format.
Sorry, not...
Yeah, Hank?
Is that a Hank because it's short, or is it Hank because of the length?
I think it's a Hank, not because of length, but of the roundness that it's packaged.
Okay.
All right? But most of you will see in good independent tackle stores spools like this.
Yeah.
And we have Jinkai Premium, which is super thin, light pound line. So this goes 4 pound, I think 4, 6, 8, 12, 16.
And is it more similar to the red or the green? Or just a completely different beast?
So it is supple and super thin for its size, resembles green in terms of suppleness, but quite good for anything like brim, whiting, flathead, all that smaller pound size. And back a step, Jinkai, really well, like Japanese family, Japanese line produced forever and a day. This is not Chinese line. This is not Chinese fibers made in China. So did I say that right? Japanese fibers made in China. Yeah. This is pure Japanese, same family.
Japanese manufactured.
And this is all they make. They don't make anything else other than these 3 types of line and in the different poundages, and that is it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jinkai Premium, I think I said 4, 6, 8, 12, 16 pound.
Yep.
Sort of a clear smoke blue-ish sort of colour. Then you have Jinkai Green. I don't have a spool of that because I don't tend to use Jinkai Green myself, but this is a 250 pound hank. Yep. Okay, so you get them in 50 metre hanks at your tackle shop. Jinkai Green is a supple leader. Really nice to tie knots into, particularly if you're someone that likes the good old blood knot.
Yeah.
Goes really well. And then you
locked blood knot.
Yeah, locked blood knot.
Yeah. Does anyone tie a normal blood knot?
I don't know.
Surely not.
Anyway. A locked blood knot?
Locked blood knot.
Oh no, blood knot, whatever. We're just shortening it like as Aussies do.
It's the only one I can tie in the dark, so sometimes that comes out.
I'm a uni knot person. So Jinkai Green available sort of 20 pound through to I think 400 or 600 pound, and in steps of 20, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, 120, 150, 250.
Sounds like a maths lesson.
3, 4, 6. I think 600.
So that's where the new anchor rope's coming from.
Yeah, what's that one? That's
400.
4. Yeah, that's for sword.
Yep.
So
what's 6?
What's 6 for? I don't know. I'm pretty sure they do it at 6. This is 200. Jinkai Plus. This was actually designed by Jinkai John.
Oh,
okay,
right.
So he helped manufacture this and design this line because he said, I want something that's got more abrasion resistance than Jinkai Green.
Yep.
Okay, so this is if you're using reef, so forth. Still nice and supple, don't get me wrong, but Jinkai Red or Jinkai Plus, as we know it, is copolymer. So more standard, strong, thin, green monofilament, copolymer. So what does copolymer mean? copolymer means it's got a different side, like base makeup.
Yep.
It's layered in its manufacturing process. So it's actually got 2 different polymers to use to construct the line. So the outer is stronger, more abrasion resistance. The inside maintains more of that sort of nylon type. Now, they're formed together in their process.
Yeah, because I'm like,
you're not going to see it.
Yeah, I can't see al dente pasta here.
No, you can't. No, you can't. And so now, Jinkai Green is what 99% of people use.
Yeah.
I switched to Jinkai Red because I had a few bite-offs when I was early into my gummy fishing and fundamentally thought, I'd have a few bite-offs, school shark, gillers, swell sharks, whatever. I need to go something with more abrasion resistance. I could use Jinkai Green. The one thing that I do like about Plus is that if you're, and it doesn't really matter to me because I know how to tie knots now, but if you're not the best at knots, or you cinch the knot too much before you cinch it down onto the hook, you can mark the green a little bit easier.
You get that little curly
You get that little curl. And does it really matter? Probably not unless you're really stretching the line to the end of its poundage on a king.
No, but with your OCD with tackle transfers across every part.
You
chop it off, start again, chop it off, start again.
So I use Jinkai Plus. Now, not that that's a problem. Jinkai Plus, it's great. There's no difference really in price to Jinkai Green at all.
But if you think of that, there's no difference in price, but the longevity of it's probably going to be a lot better. So economically, it might be a smarter choice.
To the average fisher,
yeah, not the one that changes their line every time they sneeze.
Every hook, every leader is changed every fishing.
No.
It hasn't on the whiting lately. True. Okay, you got me.
The only time.
It's been out of laziness and busy at work. Well, actually, I did change them for last night.
Yeah, but last week or last time,
last fortnight.
It was the same Tinga Noster.
Yep. The same leaders.
Yep.
As the time before.
Correct.
And
it was a double bag out.
Yeah.
And then they stayed on there, and then another double bag out.
True.
And it was retired to the wall.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I know, it's something that you don't see at my house very often, is used stuff.
No.
And it's binned. To me, it's consumable. So what makes Jinkai so good? Same manufacturer, Japanese, raw materials, manufacturing process, quality control. It's also one of the thinnest leaders for its size, okay?
Now, that might not sound like much, but
we're talking finite here.
But when it's important.
True. So if you look at 80 pound, right, it's 0.77. Most 80 pounds, how the manufacturers will achieve 80 pound is they're like 0.8 to 0.84 of a mil.
Yeah.
So we're talking potentially 0.7 of a mil difference. Like we are at the bees behind, I won't swear, the bees behind difference in line.
Yeah.
But it does make a difference in the way that knot cinches,
current resistance,
all that sort of stuff.
Way weed catches.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? The one thing that you will get out of Jinkai Plus compared to Jinkai Green, or particularly another load of leaders, is less stretch. So, and stretch can also be where you can break off at knot and so forth.
But sometimes stretch is good because in our modern tackle, there's none. The braid has no stretch. Your graphite rods, if you're up there, they're pretty tough.
Pretty broomsticky.
There's no shock leader. So there are scenarios where green might be a better choice.
Yeah, possibly. Probably in terms of a soft plastic shock leader. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely, braid to before leader connection. Absolutely.
So all of my stuff, I use Jinkai Green as a shock leader, and I use Jinkai Red as a leader.
Yep.
Because that's the business end. That's the bit that's going to hit the reef. The shock leader should hopefully not encounter any of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that you can get that's Jinkai, these aren't actually Jinkai branded, these are Japanese crimping. I don't think I know a boat out there that if you're crimping that doesn't have a set of these. However, there are imitations, okay?
Yep.
So these are from Jinkai. Jinkai sell these, they import them from Japan. This manufacturer comes from Japan. It's called Three Peaks. It's from Japan. Again, another small business like the Jinkai line manufacturers. There are a load of these that are 100% copies from China, and they are not the same. Okay?
They probably won't be in that weird white plastic packet that all of...
Well, I think they are literally copy for copy, right? But look for the Three Peaks Japan. It means it's come from Jinkai Australia, okay?
Now, I'm pretty hard on my tackle.
Yeah.
I've still got my first set of those, and it still works perfectly.
This is my first set that looks brand new because they're kept in the packet.
Yep.
These is crimped, thousands of crimps, has not beveled out.
Yeah.
You can't beat them, all right? And, they only get certain Jinkai only gets a certain number in each year, and once they sell, and then they wait till they get their next container.
Yeah, right.
So, ask your local tackle store if they don't have any in the shelf. They may be coming. They may be able to order them for you. So what's really nice is that if you use the Jinkai aluminium crimps to crimp up all your game gear, which everyone does, they will not over crimp the wire. Okay, sorry, over crimp the leader. Okay, which is important. Because if you press down too much, what you're doing is you're stretching out that, when you squish the crimp, it squishes them together and stretches them out slightly, and it can break within that crimp. Okay, so you don't want to over crimp.
Because if you're chasing lighter line classes, the last thing you want to do is weaken it by a bad connection, either a bad knot or a bad crimp.
Absolutely.
Because if it's going to fail, it'll happen there. And
there's a lot of stories going around about Jinkai John. Certainly, God bless his soul, he was very big in the game fishing community. And this is how Osaka Fishing Tackle, his business, started, was that he was post-Vietnam War. He was training with a sensei to learn martial arts and Japanese militaria overseas in Japan, and the sensei was best mates with the family members of it's not the Jinkai family, but the family that created Jinkai. And so he became very close to them. They worked out a deal, and then they brought Jinkai into Australia, and that's when Jinkai got really big. That was early on in the game fishing scene. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of other fish shows that say, oh, I brought in leaders and I brought in crimping and so forth, but Jinkai was one of those early brands.
Yeah, right.
So
from the get-go.
From the get-go, not saying he was the first, but certainly John was a part of that early marlin fishing scene out of Bermagui, where they're all in diesel inboard heavy wooden boats with the, running 100% Dacron monster reels churning on marlin and sharks like this. They had that. So, not saying it's the first, but he was definitely there. I'm going to ask you a controversial question. We've talked about this in the last series. Let's refresh. There is definitely a big movement moving back to copolymer and nylon lines away from fluorocarbon.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
Not smart enough to know properly, but people who are out in the fishing competitions are moving away from it because it channels light. So it's not as invisible underwater in dirtier environments as what they've said.
Which is generally where we fish. Western Port, Port Phillip.
And there's also a lot of talk, and it might be hearsay, that it catches its first fish well, but doesn't handle it second and third time round. Once it hits its stretching point, it weakens from there. Yeah,
I think that's very true. There is a brilliant article. I don't have all the details right now. I'll post it up under this video later on. It came out of like the Barra magazine or one of the competition magazines a number of years ago. It's available online, where one of the number one long-term fish shows, multiple winners of the Cod Classic, which is that massive 7-day thing that goes up at Darwin or wherever it is in the
Barra Classic.
Barra Classic, Barra Classic. They have done multiple tests and they've looked at strike rate and everything. And it could be because they're fishing muddy water too. They say fluorocarbon, not the choice. Now, fluorocarbon certainly has its place. It's exceptionally thin it's generally thickness for an equivalent poundage, but for the strength that it ultimately tests to, because it will always over-test its poundage, it is very strong stuff.
It also has no stretch.
It's brittle. It's brittle as hell. And the one thing that it does do that I've very much noticed is that I've had it in low pound, like 15, 20 pound on whiting rods, used it for a couple of sessions and not changed it. And when you see what the salt water and the UV does to that line compared to a standard monofilament, you're like, ugh. It's like, brother, ugh. So now, but if you are going to use one, my recommendation.
Okay, let's take a step back. When would you use one?
Low stretch situations, top water casting. And it's interesting, I say that because that's often where it's used. But if you speak to John Cahill, who is probably Melbourne's or Victoria's most well-known cod and top water, saltwater fisherman, Blue Water Johnny, if you want to follow him on Instagram, he's done some talks at our club here. He will tell you, no, don't use fluorocarbon. But if you are going to use one, because there are the purists out there, and you want low stretch or that extra abrasion resistance, because that's really what it gives you. Definitely fluorocarbon, go Japanese. So go with a brand you can trust, Shimano, it works. It's available in an awesome number of poundages. It's available everywhere. Now there's a lot of other Japanese line and other fluorocarbon line. Yes, okay, I'm a Shimano man, I get it. Can you buy a Daiwa? Yeah, buy Daiwa. I'm sure that's Japanese too. Buy that. You know, I've got no problem with that.
Yep.
So 16 pound, great for leaders. Like,
But squid?
yes, well, the difference is mono floats, fluorocarbon sinks.
So this is the perfect example where you need fluorocarbon.
Jigs or squid jigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you're one of those people like the uber purists who just tie braid straight to the squid jig, and my head can still not get around that.
And look, there is some real purists of eggy fishing online who adopt every Japanese technique. I think there's a lot of method to that, and it's gaining a lot of popularity. And if you're fishing deep kelp in Western Port, it's one way. Like, I think people think I'll definitely get my jigs back. Yeah, if you haven't buried it around the root of a kelp or a sea pen or something like that.
Bend the bottom bits up.
Yeah.
If you still don't get it back, it deserves to stay there.
Well, absolutely. Or you're busting a rod, right?
Yeah.
So,
So who's the squid dude, right? The Yamashita's
don't know his
SK.
name. SK, yes.
What does SK do?
I don't know.
I haven't seen that.
The person that I go to is a gentleman called Trung, who is actually a computer programmer. He's one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. A hugely capable eggy fisherman, and runs the Facebook page Calamari Misers Australia, I think, or Victoria. That man, if you want to understand egging, knows. So why don't we ask him?
Yeah.
And actually, when I say the following, if you look at the following on that page, when people go, should I run fluoro, should I run mono? A lot of just like, no, braid straight.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people go, do not put braid to a tackle connection. So that would be a loop or a swivel or something like that.
But if you're doing a polymer knot or something that's designed to hold up under those situations.
I don't see where the sharp edges are on the front of an eggy jig either.
Yeah, true.
You know,
because it's usually on a clip.
Yeah, it's like a clip, or not even. Like they're just rounded. They just.
Oh, so they're not. I thought they'd do it to a clip.
No, straight to the loop.
Oh, screw tying that every time you want to change jigs.
Yeah, but if you like one, it's like tournament fishing. You've got one for lure, one for hard body.
Oh, different rod for
They've
each.
got 11 eggy rods with 11 different jigs. So if you go Shimano.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Interestingly, where you might also use them is in sabiki rigs and stuff like that. Okay.
I call these my football makers.
Well, this is the interesting thing. This is a brand that has always had them in Japan and has only just hit the shores and stores in Australia, Shimano. And they do 4 different styles of these.
4 hook.
Yeah.
So there's a better chance of it not turning into a football.
Correct. And also different hook sizes. This one is the UV Super Flash. They do 3 other styles, available at all good tackle stores. They're not expensive.
It's almost like a semicircle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I have not used them yet. 100% confess, have not used them yet. Keen to give them a go. I saw them in the tackle store. I thought, oh, there's something new to test. They're fluorocarbon. Okay, so that means that the quality's up, so the price is up a little bit, but so be it. Give them a go. So, leader line. So, talking about the rub test.
Yeah.
So
it was that knuckle and that knuckle.
Our knuckles are still scarred.
Yeah.
So this is in the shed, very, very scientific technical test of where we would wrap a metre of leader line around both wrists and hands and then rub it up and down rendered brick.
Yep.
With exactly the same poundage of pressure from our
and
elbows.
we both did it.
And we both
so that
did
was
it.
the control.
That was the control test.
We can't say any test was repeatable. But
Yep. And Jinkai Plus always ended up on top.
Yep.
As well as, I will be honest, Shimano nylon casting leader.
Yep.
Which, thanks Shimano, obviously a lot of people didn't buy it because they've removed it from their catalogue.
Oh, is it gone?
It's gone.
I've still got the last half of the spool you gave me sitting in my shed, so I should...
I got it like a box that big.
Well, Christmas is a long time away, but I'll give you half his spool back.
Anaconda was selling them out for like $10 a spool.
Oh.
Yeah.
You went to town?
Yeah, I went to town. It was just ridiculous. But it's very good stuff. It was a casting leader. It was
But we
low
did
stretch.
try some of the cheaper ones, some of the online ones, and it's a bit bad to call it a rub test, but it's basically they failed the rub test.
Well, remember
hard
when you and I went gummy fishing at our favourite gummy spot, and I was using a 60-pound shock leader, and I got caught on the bottom of something, and I started to tie up another rig, and you said, I'll bust it off, and it was 60-pound shock leader.
Yeah.
You grabbed the spool and just went, tung, and that was a online, $10 100-metre spool.
Yeah, because these chicken arms can't do that normally, but
I just went tung.
Yeah.
And then we're like, yep, bin that.
Done.
So you are going to pay a premium for this product. There's a reason for it.
But if it holds up, most normal people would use the same shock leader, the same leader, multiple fishing trips. So if you buy a better quality one to begin with, it's going to last you more. And what we found with the cheaper leader, especially if you're chasing gummy sharks, as soon as that shark rubbed the edge of the leader went white, and it's 7 gillers. They're a pain. You go through leader after leader after leader. Certain charter fisherman caught 16 in a session yesterday.
Poor guy.
That's a lot of retying. At least with something like Jinkai, you got a chance of not having to retie 16 times in a day.
Yeah, you'll get it back. Look, I think, we've talked before about the full circle of fishing. You start off cheap, you end up going uber expensive, or some people don't, but some people like moi and others.
What was Kevin McLaughlin saying? A cheap person buys twice?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, you buy multiple times if you're a cheap person. And I did. I started off learning fishing. I was buying everything. Back in those days, Kmart had monster fishing sections. Big W was huge. And you'd watch Andrew Eddinghausen and stuff, and you'd go down and buy whatever he suggested and whatever, and you'd buy the rods, and everyone's walking out.
You buy the box of hooks and you take out the 10 that the eyes weren't closed.
Yeah, you do that, or put them on and just bait them because you didn't know any better. And then you buy super high gear, and then you start to realise that actually, is a Shimano Stella an amazing reel? Yes. I had plenty. I do not own one anymore. They're all Saragossa. Do
you know the only reel that I've said goodbye to in the last year was a top of the line spin reel?
It was. That thing looked terrible too. It had been through the wars, no doubt, but it
has, but it's that top end of town. Yes, it can handle the abuse, but it also needs the maintenance to keep them in their prime. And if you don't...
if you go buy a tag watch, let's say you spend 10 grand on a tag watch, you need to spend $700 to $1,200 a year servicing it, otherwise it falls out of time.
Did you see the one that was found after 20 years on
the
the ocean
the other day?
That's
Rolex.
was a Rolex.
That's different again.
Oh, okay.
That's like Rolex, we're talking.
Is that the other drawer in your shed?
No, I don't have a Rolex. No. But look, absolutely, I think you're right. You sort of come around. Leader line isn't whilst it might be the Stella of fishing line. It doesn't have that price tag. It's a consumable. It's not going to break the bank for you to buy that premium product and consistently use it.
Well, you think of the hooks at the moment. So say you've got Gamakatsu 7.0 circle. It's almost $1 each.
$1 hook.
Your leader, it's almost
like $2 a hook now. It's getting expensive.
Okay.
And that's not just them. That's like
it's
all
everyone.
brands. Yeah, it's everyone.
That hurts. So by the time you do hook, the swivel's still a cheap part. Well, except you buy expensive swivels.
No. Those owner hyper swivels. Pro parts. Okay, you don't get like 50 in a packet, but $9.99 retail for 10 or 15.
Yes, I think Black Magic cops are hiding. But I still use their swivels. They're still good. So that's the cheap part of the rig. So you I know, did that hurt you to hear that?
No, look, Black Magic has its place.
The swivels are great.
Yeah.
Just don't break the packet, because you'll end up with 50 of the little things sprawling all over the boat, and you'll never get them out of the bilge. But it is an investment at that end of the line. Nothing is cheap in fishing, except for the therapy sessions after some failed tuna attempts.
The pizza.
The pizza's the cheapest part.
Hey, look, man, we've done a tuna episode on school tuna. And I can remember in the old nude streaker last year in tuna season, I went out in not the best conditions solo. I was between jobs. You were impressed that I actually pushed myself to go out. Did 250 Ks until I did a mercy call. And you gave me some advice. You spoke to someone, Fruits, thank you, who put me on the fish. And I'd only had 40-pound leaders on deep divers, got 2 fish, lost them both. And then the fish stopped feeding. Went back through the western entrance, punched a wave that filled the boat, ruined my clears. And then I left my wallet with like $500 in it at the fuel station that morning. So that just shows you to catch, I don't even eat cat food, right? To catch that, I think that was like a $2,000 day. Like that hurt. That really hurt.
And a $2,000 donut.
That report is still online for everyone to read. Yeah, look, I think school tuna can be terrible like that barrel, but that's a commitment that we make. And in bigger boats, a litre of premium to a kilometre. It's hurting, right? So don't stuff around with
Some
the
people
basics.
question us mentally.
Well, you got to think about this, Ben. Like, that's your only connection to the fish. Like,
Yep.
other than, say, braid, of course, but the connection that you want to hold up.
Well,
like that's it.
it's more so every connection's important.
Mm.
You can't skimp on any part because that's the part that's going to fail.
So my recommendation, Jinkai, it's ongoing, it's still here, it's
Yep.
easy to get.
It is a going concern.
It's a going concern. The Jinkai family are very happy with its operation continuing, obviously. Well, their name isn't Jinkai, but the Jinkai people.
Yep.
All good tackle stores have this,
Yep.
all right? Now, there's many other good brands. You know, I've tried them all. Will they all work? Because, you know, just because they might have cut through earlier on Justin's shed wall doesn't mean it's terrible. No, it doesn't. But it's a practical test,
Yep.
you know. So, you know, leader lines, oils aren't oils, leader lines aren't leader lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had quite a few. I went around. I went from Jinkai, and I'm a big fan of Jinkai Green and Jinkai Red when it's needed. But then I went around a bunch of other brands, and I had some failures.
Black Magic, fluorocarbon, and just the Tough Trace, the black one.
Yep.
Good value when it's
Yep.
on special.
Yep.
Yeah, can't say no to that.
But I had some failures on fishing trips that I'd never had with Jinkai before. I had knots pull through, which has never happened.
Well, we were looking for alternatives.
Yeah.
You know,
Paternoster, like normal paternoster hooks, like knots that broke and snapped. And I'd done that knot over and over and over again, had never had a failure there.
we need to try the Tough Trace version of that. So they do a hardened one,
Of what?
the leader line. So that normal one that we won't mention it because we don't want people to,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh my God, they're saying it's crap. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
We just found that there's some interesting results.
I managed to extract a probably 12 to 15 kilo king that had gone through the mast of a sunken trawler. So the leader held up beautifully.
There you go.
But there was some failures with it in knots that I'd never had with Jinkai.
But they do a harder version.
Okay.
But it's not common to see it in stores. So
Right.
we'll need to look at that. We'll test that.
We will.
We'll find a new rendered brick.
I'll go back to that trawler.
Yeah, we'll go back to the trawler. So leader lines, you know, oars aren't oars, leader lines aren't leader lines. At the end of the day, I like using Shimano gear, but I use Shimano gear with Daiwa braid and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, it's just what we use.
Yep.
And you know as well as I know that I buy every bit of tackle comes out of my hard-earned back pocket.
Yep.
It's stupid what I buy and collect. And you often come and pilfer it.
Correct.
And no doubt I lose money because
Yeah,
what you
'cause-
pay is not what I pay. But
So what are you doing with that 16-pound Jinkai after this? Because
Yeah,
I got
well,
nothing under 20
well,
in the
you've set up the cameras tonight, so you can take it, mate.
Oh,
That's the least I can give
A
you.
payment.
It's a minor deposit. So this is what we use. This is what we use.
It is.
And that's what we're going to continue teaching as a part of the Tech Tackle series. Now, the Tech Tackle series, we've got some more to come, but you're going through a very busy spell. So we're going to get a couple of shows out, and then you'll have a bit of a break, and then we'll get some more shows out.
Yep.
We've also got some talks coming up at the Mitcham Angling Club, so follow the Mitcham Angling Club Facebook page.
Yep.
Thank you again for joining us and being part of the Tech Tackle series, making this all available to us. I would love it if anyone had any questions of what we use or how we use it, if you could jump on where we post this video and answer any questions.
Yep.
As I will do as well. To all of our followers, we really appreciate it. We hope you're getting value out of these series. I think that we've got now over 10,000 followers, which has been a job since 2017, since I started really taking over from Luke on the page. The only thing that I could really ask for is that if you guys, if all of the followers out there are enjoying what they're seeing, if they're not, comment, tell us. Because we do get a lot of messages behind the scenes and I answer every single one of them. I get a lot of questions. If I don't know, I don't know.
What do you have for breakfast?
Yeah, I haven't had that yet.
No?
You know, the most commonly question asked at the moment behind the page is, when are you doing the real bad coup de craft boat filming? Now,
Yes.
so we've started that. It is going to be delayed. It is
Yes.
going to be delayed, but it is going to be a monster of a story.
Like anything, you have to do it justice. You
Yeah.
have to do that boat justice. So it has to be done well.
And I've been really conflicted with it because no one really knew about the streaker other than me calling it the nude streaker. You know, I had obviously photos online or whatever, but no one really knew that was me. And
Yeah.
now the coup de craft people know that that's me. But I want to show the journey of how, you know, I bought this secondhand boat and redid it and so forth. So don't follow me if you see me out there. Like, such an average fisher. I don't catch fish. You're not going to follow me and
I have
catch
a bright
fish.
red boat.
Yeah. Well, the Baron has a bright red boat, which suits the Baron if you want to,
Yeah, but it'd be much better when it was inconspicuous.
a white stabby craft.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think it's a good story to tell. It's a story of sort of blood, sweat and tears and a bit of torment as well. But it's also what you can do if you put some thought to it. So we will get that out. Like always, like, follow and share. It's obviously Facebook and Instagram, Just Your Average Fishers. We really thank all the support from obviously Complete Angler, Dandenong and Ringwood as always.
And even if you're bored on an afternoon, just go down and walk around the aisles.
Yeah.
It'll make you smile. It'll make you feel better. Just
tell them Juzzy sent you.
Yeah.
No, they do help out a lot. And we are on YouTube, Just Your Average Fishers, so we put all of these episodes up. We've got stuff all following. I promise you, I'm never going to commercialise it and turn on ads. Actually, I'm not even allowed to earn money out of ads because we've got such a poor following at the moment. And YouTube, because some of those videos have over 30,000 views, put ads in, so which I don't get revenue off. I'm not even interested.
Because the good things that is on that is the live shows that we did during COVID. With all the charter operators.
Pakula.
Yeah.
That was insane. I promise you, we never commit. If we got 50,000 followers, which I doubt it ever would, but if we did on YouTube.
Maybe you could get that Rolex.
No.
More fishing no, you don't need more
As
fishing
I've
tackle.
always said, I will never commercialise it. That's not what Just Your Average Fisher is about. It's about us telling our comical stories of what we do and how we do it, so hopefully people don't have to do it that way. learn and do it.
We learn through other people's mistakes.
That's right. Read between the lines and you'll catch lots of fish and not burn tackle and unnecessary fuel. Yeah. No, look, this has been amazing. I'm really looking forward to the next series when you come down to earth a little bit. So it'll probably be a bit
Down
more
to earth. I'll be drilled into the ground.
Yeah, well, okay, come up from China, wherever it is. And we probably get a bit of a winter series happening.
Yeah.
Love some feedback though from our followers, and look, share this around. We've grown to 10,000. I challenge anyone. I'd like to see us grow to 20. You know, there's 20,000 Facebook people that follow Reedy, and that's just really following whiting and snapper. He's an amazing person. His adventures. We're doing a bit of everything. We're trying to teach a lot of stuff. I challenge that. Could we actually get there?
Yeah, but it's look in the back catalogue as well. There's a lot of information there and a lot of Sunday night watching on the couch. So
actually, would you believe it? We just filmed a jig episode. I did like a 7-minute video explaining jig types and how to rig them. It was my first ever video filmed on an old iPhone on my dining room table, and that is the #1 watched YouTube, Just Your Average Fishers YouTube video.
So Easter egg.
Yeah.
If anyone can find the video of you and the nude streaker, take out of that whatever you would like. If anyone finds it, send a message to the page. They get some Jinkai line. Not necessarily the 200
You're
pound.
giving away my Jinkai line.
I am. Because I'm taking
You're
that.
taking some. Yeah, okay. If someone does find that video, interesting. There was a video of the nude streaker somewhere in the land.
Yeah, may have been across a cricket pitch. Could have been about a boat.
I completely forgot about that. Okay, if someone finds that and somehow messages the page and says, here it is.
First one to message the page.
First one to message the page. We'll make it easier. I'll give you some Jinkai stash.
Done.
I will send it in express post.
Done by him.
Yeah, by me.
I've got none left.
You've got none left?
No,
Ben,
I have heaps of 80 pound. Because that is
the go-to.
Yep.
I'm with you. Gummies, kingfish, in Victoria that is. Victorian kingfish, 80 pounds, plenty.
Well, I've caught some brutes on 80 pounds, but I was in deep water, so you had a chance.
Very good. To all of our followers, thank you very much. Until the continuation of Series 2 Tech Tackle.
Hopefully before 2026.
Please, you need to edit quickly. Like, follow, comment, share. What's our tagline? Live, unbiased, non-sponsored and free?
Well, it's recorded live.
Yeah, it's
so
live.
That bit's gone.
It's a lukewarm definition.
Yeah.
Just Your Average Fishers, over and out.